This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Well, good evening and welcome to Mississippi Live at 6. I hope all of y'all have had a fantastic Monday, or at least have tried y'all's best to stay cool. A few of us are dealing with some showers and rumbles of thunder that have cooled us off. A few of us dealing with some heavy showers as well. Let's take a look at those rainfall totals out here closer towards New Albany. You guys were under that aerial flood advisory. This is over the past 3 hours, seeing how much rain has fallen. Honestly, not even within the past 3 hours. This has been very recent, prompting that advisory to be issued. And thankfully, those storms continue to move on out, not causing any flash flood warnings at this concern. But still, when we're talking about these rain chances, storm chances, they bring a lot of rainfall very quick. So we want to make sure to stay weather aware even on the storm front. But take a look at your headlines. Hottest day of the summer is tomorrow as we get ready for a toasty Tuesday. It'll be a kind of miserable, kind of outdoor feeling day as we go about the work day. So make sure to stay indoors and use that AC wisely. It will definitely be one of those days. But stormy conditions further northeast as we will break down that severe weather threat going into the rest of your work week. Of course, that'll fall on your Tuesday night heading into your Wednesday morning hours. We'll give you the very latest on that and continue keeping you updated. And we're also highlighting our community. Our Gabe Maynard will give you the very latest with those local news stories all across North Mississippi. So we hope you stay with us throughout the broadcast ahead. Now, take a look at those heat and seas all across North Mississippi. I mean, toasty. And you can see where some rain showers have made a few of us feel better. We're comparing 115 in Clarksdale and Cleveland, 118 in Tunica with those dry conditions all day long, to 89 Houston, 91 in Tupelo, and getting closer towards that New Albany area, 92 out there. So that rain, well, it can kind of bring a downpour on some plans that you have for your evenings and cause those soggy conditions. It makes us feel tremendously better. And that's why we always keep our fingers crossed on whether or not we're lucky enough to see those rain showers, because it is just hot. Take a look at those current alerts all across North Mississippi. Extreme heat warnings for all of you guys out there in the Delta, extending towards Grenada, Carroll, and Holmes since the last time I was here. And then heat advisories everywhere else, including all of our Alabama counties. So the heat continues to spread no matter where you are here in our viewing area or anywhere on the screen outside of it. You are being affected by the heat, and that will continue into your Tuesday ahead. Now, taking a look at that severe weather risk for your Tuesday, thankfully at this moment, North Mississippi not included within any levels of risk, not even that level 1, but you can tell, I mean, it is just a few miles off of the state line in Tishomingo County where we could see some of those storms move in, and that would be late overnight on your Tuesday heading into your Wednesday morning hours if we were to see those. So we're going to continue tracking that out. Lately, models continue to put us in a positive trend with those storm chances and not really seeing them. Hopefully we can continue to see that verified. Now, a few of us dealing with some ongoing storms here in North Mississippi, thankfully sub-severe. We're starting off with temperatures in the low 90s by 7 o'clock, rain coverage around 20%. And as we get ready for the rest of our broadcast this evening by 9 and 10, we're going to be talking about mostly dry skies all across our region. Low 80s by 10 o'clock, upper 70s pretty much throughout the rest of the evening overnight period. And we're going to have a beautiful start to our Tuesday morning to get us ready for those toasty conditions later on. Now, taking a look at your Mama Justice Doppler radar, again, a few of us dealing with some of these showers and quite a few rumbles of thunder. You can definitely tell we're up to 676 lightning strikes. So I think that's around 176 more than what we were at the top of the 5 o'clock broadcast. So these thunderstorms continue to develop and strengthen across our region. And you can tell they're pretty much within these two clusters of storms. This area right here within Pontotoc, Union County, dealing with the most of those strikes. So quite a few rumbles and flashes of lightning for you guys out there as you are winding down from the workday, getting ready for your evening, dumping that heavy amount of rainfall that we covered at the top of this broadcast, and another heavier shower just west of I-55, getting closer and closer towards Greenwood, or at least kind of shifting further south, moving away. And we're going to continue to kind of see that direction throughout the rest of the night. You can kind of see that gust front, the direction these storms will continue to head. We're not dealing with anything severe, but of course, if anything were to misbehave, we'll be ready to hop on and give you all the very latest. Now, taking a look at surface analysis, we really don't have any weather makers within our region. We do see that L out there in the Gulf, and that big focus point with this forecast, still tropical depression too. Now, whether or not we can see that become a named storm, well, it has a window of opportunity to do so. And we'll break down kind of what those chances look like and how likely that is to occur. But there's a decent chance we could see that maybe become the second named storm of the season by the 9 or 10 o'clock broadcast, or may even wait just a little bit longer. But that continues to shift a little bit further north-northwest along the Gulf Coast and bringing some heavier showers with it. But we are keeping eyes on this cold front, bringing lots of severe weather further up north, especially affecting Iowa at this moment, prompting all of those warnings. And that will eventually cause that severe weather that we're talking about for your Tuesday heading into your Wednesday. So we're keeping our eyes on that even for your Monday evening and how it will continue to progress. Now, taking a look at futurecast, we're still dealing with a few rumbles of thunder and showers moving through North Mississippi. This is starting off at 6:30, still doing pretty well on that placement for Pontotoc and Union County, and they're going to continue to shift further and further south. Now, take a look at that logo, already shifted to tropical storm, so models projecting that it could become the second named storm pretty quickly within the next few hours. Of course, we'll keep our eyes on that all night long, but as we get ready for the overnight period, we're enjoying dry conditions and pretty much mostly sunny conditions as we wake up for our Tuesday morning. Going to be a fantastic start to the day, but it's also going to be a toasty one. Let's take a look at the next 24. We're talking about temperatures starting off in the mid to upper 70s by 6 o'clock, mid 80s by 9, low to mid 90s already by 12, and we're going to continue to push into the upper 90s, a few of us reaching triple digits alone with those highs, not even talking about feels like yet. And those rain chances, although they're on the table, I would argue less coverage tomorrow compared to what we're experiencing today. So pretty much a mostly dry day in store for us here in North Mississippi. But we'll make sure to continue to give you the very latest on whether or not you could be affected by those rain showers as you go about the day. But coming up in the next 60 seconds, before we break down what to expect for your Tuesday and Wednesday coming on up, our Gabe Maynor has the very latest on all your local news and spotlighting the community coming up in the next 60 seconds.
When C.K. Little opened his doors in downtown Corinth nearly 80 years ago, his plan was simple: deliver excellent service and exceed expectations. That's why we say a little gift goes a long way.
Every legend starts somewhere.
Not with perfection, but with the decision.
The decision to show up, work harder, and believe this place can change everything.
At Northeast, you're more than just a number.
We're built on opportunity, and our students are willing to rise to the occasion.
Here, success isn't handed to you. It's earned.
You don't just leave with a degree, you leave as a legend.
Boys and Girls Club of North Mississippi presents Dance Like the Stars 2026, Saturday, August 8th at the Huntington Bank Arena. Floor seating is $50 and general admission seating is $20. All proceeds benefit the Boys and Girls Clubs of North Mississippi. For more information, visit bgcnms.org.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us for Mississippi Live News at 6. I'm Gabe Maynor, giving you the very latest on what's happening. And we start over in West Point. The West Point Police Department is adopting a new program. As you see right here, it's called the PPP program. What does that mean? Well, that stands for Protect Preventative Policing. This Chief Michael Edwards looking to put in place to better the community and, of course, give reassurance to the community as well. Officers will continue their regular neighborhood patrol, but now they will put out cards letting you know that they have checked your neighborhood. This also brings peace of mind because this card means that there are no suspicious activities and no suspicious persons during their time of patrol.
And what we're trying to do is to make sure the community know that we're out there. And not only out there, that we're being proactive. We know there's times that we have to be reactive, but if we can try to deter by being proactive, that's what we're here for.
Chief Michael Edwards going on Facebook earlier this afternoon to explain the program and what this means for the community. So basically put, if you see an officer, do not be alarmed. If there is anything suspicious, they will knock and let you know. A federal court has agreed to allow the University of Mississippi Medical Center to take control of the Greenwood LaFleur Hospital. The Greenwood Commonwealth reports the transfer was approved by the U.S. Bankruptcy Court in Aberdeen. The plan calls for the medical center to take over the hospital on August 1st. Officials say the takeover helps ensure that medical services remain available to residents in that area of the state. Now, we've been talking about it all through the weekend. Tropical Storm 2, better yet known as soon to be Bertha, is continuing to develop out in the Gulf. If the storm continues to strengthen, it would be the second named storm hurricane season. We're still a bit of a ways from that, though. Our chief meteorologist, Matt Laubhahn, somehow ended up in Florida, right in the path of this storm, on where Bertha stands, or at least potential Bertha stands, and how that's expected to bring impacts to
and eventually Louisiana Gulf Coast as it works its way back toward the west. This is not, though, it is a high-end tropical system by any stretch of the imagination. But just a reminder that if this is not technically a tropical storm and it causes some issues like this, just how rough things can get when you do have one of those higher-end tropical systems. But from Franklin County, Florida, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Laubhahn from Mississippi Live Weather.
Thank you, Matt. And we're going to go to a more positive note here in North. As we approach the start of school, we want to shine a light on those shaping the next generation right here in our home area, here in North Mississippi. That's why we're calling this our Community Spotlight. And today's Community Spotlight takes us all the way to Vardaman. You may know her. Mrs. Nicole Spann is a teacher over at Vardaman Elementary School and is going into her 32nd year. One viewer says she is truly an inspiration and someone everyone looks up to. My favorite part is the viewer actually compared her to Miss Honey off of Matilda. We all wanted a teacher like Miss Honey, right? Well, folks in Vardaman got to have that teacher, and that was with Miss Spann. Thank you for what you do, Mrs. Nicole, and prayers for a successful school year. If you cater, teacher, principal, bus driver, or anyone making a difference in the school, let us know on our Facebook page, as we'll be showing them off as we approach the upcoming school year. Thank you so much for joining us for Mississippi Live News at 6. I'm Gabe Maynor. Keep it here for the very latest.
Hi, I'm Mississippi Live Chief Meteorologist Matt Laubhahn. Reserve your St. Jude Dream Home giveaway ticket by July 31st, and you'll be eligible to win the house and the early bird prize, a $10,000 gift card to Brooks Grocery. Visit dreamhome.org to reserve your ticket for $100 and help St. Jude Children's Research Hospital continue its life-saving work. Then watch Mississippi Live on October 29th to see who wins the house and the other prizes. Reserve your ticket today.
Welcome to the next generation of local news, Mississippi Live. Where you are, when you want it, we're focused on you because local matters. We are Mississippi Live.
This portion of Mississippi Live Weather is presented by Little's Jewelers.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, thanks for sticking here with us for Mississippi Live at 6. Let's take a look at our evening planner as few rumbles continue to move on through North Mississippi. We'll still hear a few by 8 o'clock, but again, most of us returning back to those drier conditions. Mid to upper 80s, cooling off towards the low 80s by 11, mostly clear skies, and slowly but surely making our way back down towards the mid to upper 70s for overnight lows. Again, here's a look at those current heat and seas all across North Mississippi as we're getting ready for our Monday evening plans. Feeling a little bit better here where we've seen some of those rainfalls and kind of thunderstorms move through North Mississippi, but those who don't, 118 in Tunica, 115 Clarksdale and Cleveland, 111 in Belzona. That's why these rain changes are very important as we go about the day and how we're not really going to see much tomorrow, which makes that heat just a little bit toastier as we get ready for our Tuesday. Now, Futurecast still, again, doing pretty well on that placement for those thunderstorms out there towards Union and Pontotoc County. That's around 6:30. And as we continue throughout the rest of the evening, again, we're not talking about anything severe or intense. They'll continue to move further and further south. Mostly dry conditions returning by 10 o'clock, maybe a rogue shower or two out there, but we're returning to pretty much completely dry later on tonight by midnight and on, talking about a clearing taking place and a beautiful beautiful start to our Tuesday morning as we get ready for the day. Now, those low temperatures, again, only making their way down towards the mid to upper 70s, slightly above average for this time of year. Thankfully, below average conditions. They'll slowly make their way back into the forecast, and we'll finally talk about them towards the end of the work week. Now, let's take a look at your pool day forecast, sponsored by NNMSC. Low 80s by 8 o'clock, enjoying those mostly sunny skies. In fact, we can enjoy them pretty much all day. Low 90s by noon, mid to upper 90s by 3 o'clock. An unfortunate city already hitting triple digits for your Tuesday tomorrow and earlier today. Feels like values, again, soaring us into the triple digits as we go about the day. Now, Futurecast. Again, we're talking about mostly sunny skies as we're starting off our Tuesday morning, and we can see those southerly winds blowing across our region, bringing in that moisture and that mugginess from the Gulf. And we're still enjoying these mostly clear skies pretty much all throughout the morning hours. Starts to get a little bit closer towards partly cloudy by 12:30 as that moisture continues to build on up. And as we go about the afternoon hours, yes, there is still the chance for us to talk about a rogue shower or two, but notice that coverage significantly lower than what we've dealt with today. In fact, those rain chances a little bit more focused out there in Arkansas, just west across the Mississippi River, but a heavier shower out there towards Olive Branch, just south of Greenwood as well. Definitely possible, and will continue to stay mostly dry as we continue throughout our Tuesday tomorrow. This is what we need to focus on and prepare for as we go about our Tuesday. It is going to be scorching hot as temperatures soar into the mid to upper 90s. And like I mentioned, Greenville out there sitting at 100 for just the air temperature, but how we really feel, triple digits easily, 105 easily, and a good bit of us pushing 110 or more, prompting those extreme heat warnings for you guys out there in the Delta, starting to creep a little bit further eastward. 110 out here in Tupelo, 107 out there in Columbus and Starkville in the Golden Triangle region. It will be hot, it will be warm and muggy, so spend your time outdoors wisely. Take advantage of the AC and just be safe. Keep that water bottle handy as you go about the workday tomorrow. Now, Futurecast, again, we're still talking about those mostly dry conditions, even with our strike model, so very good to see those continue to compare very similarly to each other as we go about our Tuesday evening. And we can see a rogue shower or two move on through, but that's very good to see that we're not seeing anything too intense, because that would be due to that frontal system that we're going to continue to break down a little bit more. We can actually zoom out here to show you what I'm talking about. It continues to be just a little bit further south. It's weird that it's doing it on that screen, but on mine, so I'll have to look at that one. But we're seeing that cold front continue to drape and make its way further and further south, prompting maybe severe weather a little bit more likely further up northeast. Not quite talking about that here in North Mississippi. So we're hoping to keep this very consistent as we head into the next few hours. And then that cold front will stall on out. And this is the relief that we get to look forward to. We're going to see a lot of that northern air continue to blow on through North Mississippi. And honestly, instead of this really being a cold front, it's almost more of a dry front making its way into our area, bringing in just drier northern air. That will allow us to feel a lot better as we go about our Wednesday and pretty much into the next bit of the work week. So we'll feel a lot better Thursday, but start to feel the effects further north you go on our Wednesday. So by 12:30, again, we're still not talking about those rain changes quite as relevant, but the stationary front could try to prompt a few rain showers along it, but I think most of our rain chances will be early on throughout the morning hours, kind of the overnight period before we wake up for the workday. And then we can see some of those rain chances a little bit later on in the evening by the southeastern portion of our viewing area. And you can see that little red thing spinning down there. See if it'll let me move it. It may have just disconnect because it seems to be loading on my end. That's that tropical storm icon. So models continue to agree that we could see the second named storm of the season. It would be Tropical Storm Bertha. And that's kind of that spinning icon that you can see making its way towards potentially a named landfall towards the Louisiana and Mississippi coastline. Now, again, taking a look here at North Mississippi, that stationary front continues to move on south just a little bit, keeping those dry and kind of that northerly wind blowing into our area. That will make us feel a lot better as we get ready for our Thursday and especially into the next bit of the work week. Now, this is what I mean with that relief on your Wednesday. Not many of us will get to experience it. In fact, it's the most northern portion of our viewing area. A few of us getting close towards upper 80s, but 90 Iuka, Red Bay, 91 Corinth and Boonville. Same for Holly Springs and South Haven, and you'll feel a lot closer to those temperatures as compared to dramatically warmer like what we're currently experiencing. But while the rest of us wait for that stationary front to make its way further south, bringing in that northern drier air, we're going to have to still deal with mid to upper 90s as we go about the day, and feels like values still pretty much in that heat advisory and potentially extreme heat warning criteria even for you guys out there towards Belzona. But further north you go, that relief, it'll make it to you guys that much sooner as you get ready for your hump day. Now, take a look at your severe weather risk. Again, we're not dealing with anything here in North Mississippi just quite yet. This is for your Tuesday heading into your Wednesday early morning hours, and we're not within that level 1 risk, but you can definitely see just a few miles off of Tishomingo County, kind of the state line. So very close, could see a few storms try to be on the stronger side. So we're going to continue to monitor that as we get ready for our Tuesday night. But to go throughout all the risks, that tornado risk further up north, not anywhere as close as what we were talking about with that categorical risk just a second ago. So tornado risk not likely as we go into the overnight period. Hail continues to struggle as well, pretty much not within Tennessee besides kind of clipping the most northern counties. So that continues to stay further out north towards Kentucky. It's going to be wind. That's been what we've dealt with a lot with severe weather days here throughout the summertime months. So again, going to be a little bit breezy, could bring some gusts that could knock over some trees, cause those power outages. That's going to be our primary concern, along with that heavy rainfall. That could cause some flooding concerns, and a few of you guys out there in New Albany could have seen that earlier on today with that aerial flood advisory. Now, again, taking a look at your 7-day forecast, we're talking about mid-90s tomorrow. It will be the warmest day of the work week, mostly sunny skies, providing not meaningful shade as we go about the day. Rain chances still on your Wednesday, whether that's occurring early in the morning hours, kind of throughout that overnight period, or later on in the evening for the southeastern portion of our viewing area as that stationary front continues to move on through. We're talking about mid-90s still, but low 90s throughout the rest of the work week as we get ready for next weekend, with those rain chances trying to make their way back into the forecast yet again. But coming up in 60 seconds, we're going to be taking a look further on south down towards the tropics as we continue to look at Tropical Depression 2 and how it continues to pretty much just cook out there in the Gulf, but not quite making it to a tropical or at least a named storm just quite yet. And we'll let you know kind of what we can expect as we go about the rest of the evening. All of that's coming up in the next 60 seconds.
Hate is loud, but love is the majority.
I'm your retirement fear, but don't be scared. You're still in pre-tirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. This is pretirement.org.
This isn't scary. I'm doing it.
Well, thanks for sticking here with us for Mississippi Live at 6. Real quick, let's take a look at our Biloxi camera. You can see mostly sunny skies out there. That ocean continuing to look beautiful. 98 degrees, feels like 109, still quite toasty along the coastline. But taking a look at our tropical satellite, this is showing, I believe, the past 6-hour loop, or actually it may have been throughout pretty much the start of the day. So 8 hours or so kind of showing, or actually 12, there we go. I had to make sure I did my math right in my head. But you can see that convection continuing out there in the Gulf with those warm waters that we've been talking about a lot. And one thing me and meteorologist Gabe Maynard were discussing in the behind the scenes, talking about how the storm, it's very close to the coastline as it continues to sit out there in the Gulf. It's not further out there just enjoying all those warmer waters. You can see these bands kind of dragging across the coastline of Florida, producing all those storms, and there's a lot of friction, and it loses that energy because it's not over those warm waters. So it's struggling a lot to quickly intensify, only dropping, I believe, maybe a millibar every day, and that's kind of lower pressure, and typically the lower the pressure, more intense those storms can be. So when we see something like that, we're not talking about anything intense happening very quick, which continues to be a positive. So we are still expecting a little bit more development to occur as it makes its way further northwest. And while it sits out there with those warmer ocean temperatures, it can continue to just bump up ever so slightly to make its way towards a tropical storm officially. Now, taking a look at those tropical conditions for your Monday as we continue into the rest of the evening, you can still see very favorable environments. You can see that counterclockwise spin as those winds continue to organize very clearly. You can definitely tell where the storm is out there in the Gulf. Red meaning it's most favorable, and of course, as you transition towards green, kind of reaching those unfavorable environments. And that's what we were just talking about here, pretty much along the Florida coastline. Of course, they're seeing a lot of storms kind of trying its best to cool off ocean waters. Of course, not going to be anything significant with a body of water that large, but we're still seeing those favorable environments as we get ready for the evening. And who knows, if you tune in by the 9 and 10 o'clock broadcast later on tonight, we could officially have the second named storm of the season on our hands, which of course we'll keep you updated on as we continue throughout the work week. But we appreciate you guys for tuning in to Mississippi Live at 6. If you haven't downloaded the app yet, do so. You can download it using the QR codes on your screen, whether you have an iOS or Android phone, compatible for both. Same app, just making sure it is accessible for all of you guys out there. And with that, we'll be live later on this evening at 9 and 10 to continue breaking down how hot you will get for your Tuesday ahead, and whether or not we can see those rain chances try to bump up ever so slightly, or if those mostly dry conditions will continue to be persistent, as we'll just have to deal with those toasty conditions. But until then, y'all continue to enjoy y'all's Monday evening. Have a fantastic overnight period, and thanks for supporting us here at Mississippi Live.